How many of you are looking to become financially independent? Say, what does that mean, Mike? Okay. Well, you basically want to become financially free of having to, for one, work a full-time job. You want to kind of gain control of your own destiny, and that means your own dream of becoming a full-time trader and possibly wanting to, kind of move out of the market of working your full-time job, whatever career it may be. Maybe you're ready to retire. Maybe you're just kind of burnt out and you're looking for a reprieve, something different, a different path or avenue that can kind of, that you can gain interest in, that you can become passionate about, because that's what life to me is all about, is finding out what it is that you truly love to do, that you're passionate about. And I've said this many times, if you do so, the money will follow. So you don't have to worry about having so much of the headache of, will I be able to make money in this market, in trading or not? It depends on you and how much, how much effort you put into it, how much hard work you put into it, how much you are willing to learn how to trade the correct way. People always ask me, well, trading appears to be more or a lot harder than it really is. It depends, again, on the person, all right? Are you able to really understand and read the markets like experience level or even intermediate traders, okay? Yes, starting off from a beginner standpoint can be a struggle, all right? And, this learning curve is just like anything else in life. You have to really figure out the ins and outs, to be able to navigate yourself, to be able to make money in this business. But it doesn't take much to become a profitable trader. And that's why I always reflect back and talk about trading with a naked chart. Look, if you're trading with indicators, please try your best not to trade on signals of what the indicators are showing you or telling you. I know there's lots of advertisements or marketing schemes out there that are trying to sell you or capture you into buying particular indicators to say, hey, you buy this, you'll be able to trade at 85%, 90%, or 95% or more, whatever the case may be. All right. That's just marketing tactics, just like anything else that's for sale out there. I'm telling you right now that you can make it in this business if you understand how to read the charts the correct way. Yes, that is being able to read and understand market structure. I talk about that. It is the king. The key in market structure is king to everything when it comes to trading and making it in this business, no matter the markets. Okay, I don't even care if you trade, options or stocks, forex, whatever it is you trade. You have to be able to read and understand what the market is doing. What are the institutions really trying to accomplish? Well, you should know by now that is their ultimate goal to stop you out. All right, they have to make money just as well. The key to making it into this business is not to trade against, the bigger players, the institutions, is to trade with them. Grab their coattail, look for their opportunities and the moves they're making, and trade with them, not against them, because they will railroad you, because they have the capital to be able to weather any storm and to position or set up traps to position themselves to make money. All right, so understand how that works, and you'll kind of put yourself on the right path or the right map to be able to trade the correct way. I talk about that. The sooner you are able to understand and trade with institutions and knowing which direction they're trading, you're going to be able to make money in this business. But the key is understanding market structure, all right? So people ask me, well, how much money can I make on a daily basis? It's up to you. The sky's the limit, all right? Yes, some days are tougher than others. The market may trip you up. Some days are a little bit easier than others. So, it's really, what are you trying to get out of the market? Is it $400? Is it $600? Is it $2,000 a day? That really depends on the person. Now, I, stress here on my channel a specific strategy, which I talk about across multiple videos here on this channel and over on the elite part of the channel. So those that are elite members or elite supporters to the channel, there are private, videos that I posted for those individuals so that they can gain a little bit understanding of the strategy and how I trade, because I break down my trades in detail so that it makes it easier to understand. All right. I talk about the stop losses and profit target areas, just basically, breaking things down from my perspective as if you're sitting next to me. So if you want to become an elite member, find that link down in the description portion of the video. Invite yourself. Well, I can say invite yourself in. What I'm trying to say is that once you click on that link, there will be two tiers that'll pop up. Make sure you choose the one for $6.99 a month. That's all it is. $6.99 a month, and you'll gain access to those private videos where I walk you through trade setups and the ones that I talk in specific, the same setups that I've taken and posted over on our Discord community. Now, the Discord community is free. There's a link right down in the description portion of the video, right above the link to where you can become an elite member. There's a Discord link there. You can invite yourself in for free. Okay, but for all those that do support my efforts as a content creator, I definitely appreciate that. But I don't want to kind of beat that up. If you're just interested in becoming an elite member and gaining access to the private community where there are the trade breakdowns, the video playlists, which are videos that I pulled out from the channel, ones that I feel that cover, the hot topics, the ones that I cover that really go into detail about the strategy. I've made a link by link series of videos for the elite members. So if you're interested, for $6.99, you gain more video content, okay? But anyways, breaking things down as a whole, $400 a day. I mean, is that possible? Yes, it's definitely possible. I'm talking about just taking one trade setup a day. Because really, if you take one good setup, that should all you really need to make or become profitable in this business. The moment you spend, or the more you spend time in the market, meaning taking 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 trades a day, the more you are taking trades one after another, that should be a signal to you, okay? It should be an alert to you that you are struggling with something emotionally and from a psychology basis that you just can't, you don't know when to stop. So you have to understand, more experienced level traders, we're looking for one good setup and we're done, okay? If we get what we get out of the market that day, we're done, and we look to another day to trade another good setup. I like to trade high probability setups, and I talk about that here on the channel and the strategy in particular. $400 a day is super easy if you truly want to become financially independent. Become your own employer or boss, okay, to where you can cut your ties and having to work for somebody else, all right? It is extremely and definitely possible, but it all boils down to high probability setups. I'm gonna show you an example of a trade that I took, okay? It was just a supply setup. I'm not gonna go into detail about breaking it down because, I talk about those type setups in the breakdown for the private community, for those that are elite members. And if you watch the videos here on the channel on the public side, on the video side here, if you just kind of scroll, you'll find plenty of videos where I go into, just give you some freebies and go into detail about trade setups as well. But those that want to become an elite member, you get, trade after trade after trade video to where I'm breaking things down. So you can, eventually things will click and you'll grasp an understanding of the trades, of the strategy and detail how I take it. It just all boils down to, taking a higher base chart, marking up zones, and then scrolling down or moving down to a lower base chart to look for a setup. That's all it is, okay? It's pretty simple, all right? So I took this trade. I saw a beautiful setup here on the 60 range chart. And again, what I'm trying to show you here is that this was a 23-point pickup that I made, okay? Trade I took on a supply area going back short. If you trade and pick up 20 points a day, just trading one contract, you could easily make $400 a day. That stacks up if you trade one trade a day, $2,000 a week. A month on a monthly basis, that's $8,000 a month. Okay, a lot of people aren't making that kind of money on a monthly basis, but I'm just showing you that one trade a day, one good high probability setup a day, you can make an easy $400, just one contract. Okay, now if you trade two contracts, it's $800. You trade three contracts, then you should know it starts, building out. That's $1,200. On that trade there, okay? And that's, picking up 20 points, again, on one good setup. I picked up 23 points, so that put me over in gross profit of a little bit over $900 on that one trade. Trading two contracts though, okay? So, but again, one contract is really all you need on one good setup per day, and you make $400. Again, $2,000 a week, okay? But some of you may have more capital. Some of you may be able to trade more contracts. Some of you may be interested in trading more contracts. But understand, you have to understand your risk in this business, okay? When it comes to trading, how much are you willing to leverage? What is your threshold as far as the appropriate risk management that you are looking to really leverage within the markets? Some of you may have more capital. Some of you may not. Some of you may be trading prop firm. Trying to pass those evaluations, whatever the case is. But either way, it's pretty simple if you just have a great strategy to be able to do so. And again, following a high probability setup, which this was right here, because as you can see, I use range-based charts for all those that are new to the channel, first-time viewers. If you take a look here, we are breaking structure to the downside. This was the break of structure right here when the market broke below 20,000, 217, and we broke lower, pull back, broke structure lower, pulling back to this key area. Now, this was not, and I talk about the difference of a high probability versus low probability setups. You know, I like to see an area where there's like I'm not saying void, but where the market moved away from out of a swing where there's aggressive selling or buying. In a situation, in this case here, this was aggressive selling to the downside. This was a low probability setup. And people always ask me, will low probability setups or can low probability setups hold? Yes, they can. Just because it's already been tested doesn't mean that the market will not reject it again. But I preferably like to trade trades back at what I'm trying to say here, high probability setups where there's an actual, say for example, a gap at, meaning when the market moves away from this area right here, if the market broke below this area when you got a bearish candle to the downside, and it didn't immediately pull back like it did on this next candle, the second candle, and tap back into this area, all right, at the bottom end of this. You see that bullish candle there? The last bullish candle to the upside, as it moved lower, it pulled back on that bearish candle. The wick of it did, and tapped the bottom end of that bullish candle. When it did that right there, that makes the trade setup for me it's lower probability because the area has been mitigated. So when it broke lower and came back, I was, this was into the overnight session overnight. I was interested, but I was very, very, how should I say, skeptical about the trade in a sense. But I saw where it was rejecting to push higher, okay? So where it wasn't, it made this wick to the upside here on this bearish candle here. It broke lower with this bearish candle here. It pulled back, and it made a lower high right here. At that point right there, I was interested because I said this is a form of rejection back at a low probability zone. And so all I did was move down to my lower base chart and look for a supply setup, okay, on my 24 range chart, and that's why I took the trade. I'm going to break this trade down for our elite members. So again, if you're not an elite member, you want to gain access to trade breakdown videos like I'm going to post one probably today, or if not today, on this specific trade right here where I picked up 23 points, I'll do so by tomorrow. But if you want to gain access to, again, content like that, so I'm breaking down, you can see the trades I take. This is the exact same trade setup that I posted over on the Discord community. So, I'll post that over for our elite members, and I'll break that trade down in specific and more so in detail. But all this was a supply setup, okay? But it was a low probability one. I'll say that right now. Now, you have to be mindful too when the market pulls back to key areas of supply or demand. You have to look above you and see basically to the left-hand side and see, are there any areas or gaps where the market left when it was breaking structure lower? In this case here, back to the downside, it really wasn't. I mean, as it was pushing lower, it was pulling back and was filling the gaps back to the upside. Even at this area right here where there would have been supply at, this is low probability supply right here. And you can see the market came back to it, and it did reject it, when it got back over here around about 5 o'clock, 5:20 this morning. But again, I saw this right here. I don't trade no time in the morning and 5 something in the morning during the London session because I'm asleep, okay? But it's a great opportunity to trade a London session as well. Now, what I like to say as well, when the market was pushing back to the upside here, it actually started folding back to the downside here. So on a 60 range chart, well, if you look at the higher basis, the 120 range chart, you can see right here where the market was making these lower lows and lower highs to the downside. Market's making these, again, these lower lows and lower highs, but we haven't really broken through any, key area structure to the downside. So we just have to be very mindful because these are highs resting up here. This is an area of liquidity, so the market may want to try to break structure back to the upside, and this just be a pullback, as it's moving lower here, making these lower lows and lower highs, turn back around and break structure going back to the upside. So just be very mindful of what's taking place within the market and look for great setups like, this one here. It was breaking structure lower when it was running lower, pulling back, making, each attempt, it pushed down a lower high, as it was moving lower. So this is a supply area. This is a supply area, but both of these are low probability. Again, I like to see when I'm trading, more so, I like to trade from high probability areas where the market has a unmitigated zone in. That's what I'm talking about. It's an unmitigated area that has not been tapped at. When I speak on gaps, I mean unmitigated or mitigated areas. Mitigated, low probability, unmitigated, high probability zones. Okay. So what I want to do is just kind of like show you the trade that I took. I'll bring it up here from the Discord. It's right here. Again, if you want to join the Discord, you can find the link down in the description portion of the video. This is a 23 point trade that I took. This is my 24 range chart in which I mark my zone off of a higher base chart. I'll show it to you right here. This is my 60 range chart. No, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, this is my 60 range chart right here. Okay. That I posted over in the Discord. Supply setup here, and then I just scale down and look for an opportunity to trade it. And by doing so, moving down to a lower base chart, once you've marked up a higher base chart, supply or demand zone, you can find yourself getting into more of a precise entry point. And I talk about what to look for in the rejection when it comes to making a trade entry. So if you see here, this outer box here, that's the supply zone off of the 60 range. The inner box there is narrowing things down to get into a trade setup off the 24 range. So I like to use paired charts because the more confluence you have, the better, or the more the trade is going to work out in your favor. So that was the trade setup that I took off of that area I just showed you right here. So it's right here, and then I moved down to the 24 range chart. So it's pretty simple to do. That was a 23-point trade there. Even if you pick up just one trade a day, like I talk about, one good high probability setup, trading one contract, okay, on the E-mini NASDAQ, you can definitely pick yourself up an easy 400 bucks on the day. Again, that's $2,000 a week. That's gross, but that's before commissions. But even commissions, I mean, you're talking about, it all depends on your broker. Commissions aren't going to be high, if you're just trading just one contract or two contracts on a high probability setup. You can easily pick up anywhere between $800 to $1,000 a day if you really know what you are actually doing. And those profits can exponentially increase depending on the number of contracts you actually are trading. So someone that's trading of course 10 times 10 contracts, so you're looking at what, $4,000 gross on a 20-point move on the NASDAQ. So I mean, you can really have a good day if you trade the appropriate number of contracts. But it's up to each individual person and how much they're willing to risk. And I tell everyone, risk management and being able to trade correctly is the key to success, as well as with having the passion and being patient and waiting for the right opportunities and setups. I don't understand, so many people are always they feel the need to always want to be in a trade at all times. That's when people start losing, because they feel as if, oh, I see a setup here, or I see a setup there. No, you need to be able to read the market the correct way. I'm telling you right now, if you be patient and you look for one good trade setup a day, that's all you really need. I mean, if you're trading more than that and you're not really, maybe you got, multiple contracts, say 2 contracts, you're not letting one run. And even though I'm talking about one contract here, one contract on 20 points is definitely doable, but you got to wait for the right setup. That's all it is. Someone that's trading, like, say, for example, 2 contracts, and you pick up 20 points, then let the last contract run and see what happens. At least you picked up on your first contract, your first 20 points, and you can be done. And you move that second contract to break even once you're in the profit. And if it comes back, stops you out. You still picked up, some money for today. Live to see the next trade for the next day and wait for another high probability setup. Stop taking all these crazy unnecessary trades. That's what people run into problems, and they start blowing their accounts and they start getting frustrated themselves. And then you start revenge trading and start losing more money. If I'll say this, I take my hat off to those that are really, practicing putting into their trading plan to where if they win one trade, they're done. If they lose one trade, they're done. Have some limitation on the number of trades you're actually taking. All right. If you're telling yourself that I'm gonna take one good trade a day and then I'm gonna be done after that, then do the same thing if you take a loss. If you lose one good trade, or not. First and foremost, not every trade is gonna work out. So you have to understand knowing when to get out of a trade quick enough so you can possibly maybe take a second trade. But for all those that actually stop themselves that day after taking a loss, I commend you on doing so, because you're practicing proper risk management for one. For example, that you're not a revenge type trader. You're gaining control of your psychology. You're gaining control to be able to become more patient. You're gaining control and knowing how to, preserve money and capital so you can trade again. For all those that are out there just constantly taking trades left and right, you got a lot of learning to do. I'll say that right now. So you really need to understand what it is you're doing wrong and correct it real quick, or you will. Either you're going to fail, you're not going to make it in this business, or you're going to blow through a bunch of money. So I just want to stop there. Again, I will post a video over for those that are elite members on the trade breakdown that I took on that 23-point trade, showing you exactly what my thought process was and why I took that trade. So again, if you're not an elite member, maybe you want to become one, the link is in the description portion of the video. Scroll down, you will see it, click on it, and make sure to choose the tier that says become an, or choose the tier for $6.99 to become an elite channel supporter or member, okay? And again, I appreciate and thank everyone that is supporting my efforts as a content creator and pushing out this valuable content, because I want to see people succeed and become profitable. But outside of that, that's all I have for you guys today. I just want to really tell you that if you want to gain financial independence and become free and be able to have your own destiny, make a path for your own way in life, trading is definitely a good, valuable option, but you have to put the work in. You have to understand how to read the markets the correct way, or you're going to find yourself getting frustrated and you're going to lose money. And then lots of times people actually lose a taste of even wanting to step back into the markets. So just do it the right way, do it the slow way, take time, go through the steps. Practice, back test, forward test before you start trading with your own money going live. So outside of that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I appreciate everyone tuning in on a daily basis, watching the videos. Thank you for doing so. If you're not a current subscriber, please take the time to go ahead and sub by clicking on the subscribe button. Make sure to turn on all your post notifications so you never miss one of the uploads here on the channel. And last but not least, if you found value in today's video and you really truly want to become financially independent, drop a like on the video, and down in the description portion of the video, if this kind of, set the tone for you, or maybe rang a little bell inside your mind, and you truly want to become financially independent, do me a big favor. Drop down in the comment section down below. Just simply say, hey, I'm on this path for a reason. Let me know why you're on this path, or just simply say that I'm on this path because I want to become financially free. Just say that. All right. And that'll let me know that, there are people out there that are truly, truly, truly trying to make it in this business. Take care. I'll see everyone in the next one. Goodbye.